When we think of Europe, we think of historic cities, towering mountain ranges, and sweeping coastlines. But hidden within these landscapes are some of the most exclusive, endangered, and downright bizarre botanical treasures on Earth. Some of these plants live on a single mountain peak, others have survived since the time of the dinosaurs. Today, we are counting down 20 of the rarest plants found in Europe, their mind-blowing secrets, and exactly where they are hiding. Let's dive in. 1. The dragon tree, Dracaena draco. Where to find it: the Canary Islands, Spain, and Madeira, Portugal. Mind-blowing fact: when the bark of this ancient tree is cut or damaged, it leaks a thick, crimson sap known as dragon's blood. Ancient civilizations used this sap for magic, alchemy, and embalming, believing it was the literal blood of slain dragons. 2. Tower of Jewels, Echium wilfridii. Where to find it: the subalpine slopes of Mount Tide on Tenerife, Spain. Mind-blowing fact: this plant grows as a flat, humble rosette of leaves for years, but in its final spring, it explodes into a massive, 3-meter, 10-foot, tower covered in up to 16,000 red flowers, only to die completely once it finishes blooming. 3. Nuragica columbine, Aquilegia nuragica. Where to find it: Garopa Gorge in Sardinia, Italy. Mind-blowing fact: this is one of the loneliest plants in the world. Its entire global population is confined to one single vertical cliff face in a rugged Italian gorge, with fewer than 50 individual plants left in the wild. 4. Mandrake, Mandragora officinarum. Where to find it: the rocky, sun-drenched soils of the Mediterranean region, southern Italy, Greece. Mind-blowing fact: famous from Harry Potter, this real-world plant contains hallucinogenic alkaloids and features a root system that naturally grows to look like a wrinkled human body. In medieval Europe, people believed that if you pulled it from the earth, its scream would instantly kill you. 5. Ghost orchid, Epipogeum aphyllum. Where to find it: ancient beech forests of the UK, Germany, and Scandinavia. Mind-blowing fact: this plant is a literal ghost. It has no leaves and no chlorophyll, meaning it cannot perform photosynthesis. It lives entirely underground as a parasite on fungi, only popping up above ground to bloom once every few decades when conditions are perfectly aligned. 6. Cretan zelkova, Zelkova abolitia. Where to find it: the White Mountains of Crete, Greece. Mind-blowing fact: this tree is a living fossil from the Tertiary period. While modern animals eat it down to a tiny, scrubby bush, if it is protected from grazing, it undergoes a spectacular transformation, growing into a massive, majestic 15-meter tall tree. 7. Dragon arum, Dracunculus vulgaris. Where to find it: the Balkans, Greece, and the Aegean Islands. Mind-blowing fact: also known as the voodoo lily, this plant smells like rotting meat. It heats up its own internal temperature to blast this horrific scent into the air, intentionally tricking carrion flies into flying inside to pollinate it. 8. Maltese centauri, Chirolophus crassifolius. Where to find it: coastal limestone cliffs of Malta and Gozo. Mind-blowing fact: this is the national plant of Malta, and it loves extreme danger. It is critically endangered and grows only on the sheer edges of coastal cliffs where it is blasted by salt spray and fierce Mediterranean winds. 9. Sicilian fir, Abies nebordensis. Where to find it: the Nebrodi and Madoni Mountains of Sicily, Italy. Mind-blowing fact: for decades, scientists officially declared this tree completely extinct. However, in 1957, a tiny, miracle grove of just 30 trees was rediscovered clinging to a remote Sicilian mountaintop. 10. Spring gentian, Gentiana verna. Where to find it: the Ben in Ireland, and high alpine meadows across Europe. Mind-blowing fact: its petals produce an incredibly rare, intense true blue pigment that absorbs 99% of red light. In Irish folklore, bringing this rare flower into your house was said to cause the building to be struck by lightning. 11. Eocochia, Eocochia saxicola. Where to find it: the tiny, uninhabited volcanic island of Strombolicchio, and Capri, Italy. Mind-blowing fact: this is arguably the rarest shrub in the entire Italian flora. It lives in one of the harshest environments on Earth, growing directly out of volcanic rock where it is completely exposed to toxic volcanic gases and ocean storms. 12. Lady slipper orchid, Cypripedium calceolus. Where to find it? Highly classified, protected woodland locations in the UK and Northern Europe. Mind-blowing fact, this flower acts as a botanical trap. It lures bees into its slippery yellow pouch, forcing them to crawl out of a narrow, specific exit that smears them with pollen on their way out. In the UK, it is so rare that it is guarded by 24/7 police protection when it blooms. 13. Ochimus centauri, Centaurea achimantis. Where to find it? The Ochimus Peninsula in Cyprus. Mind-blowing fact, this plant refuses to grow on flat ground. It is an obligate chasmophyte, meaning it can only grow hanging downward from the ceilings and walls of shaded, damp limestone canyons. 14. Mount Olympus violet, Viola casorlensis. Where to find it? The high peaks of the Cazorla Mountains in Spain, and Mount Olympus in Greece. Mind-blowing fact, to survive the brutal mountain winters, this violet has developed a highly specialized relationship with just one specific type of long-tongued moth. No other insect can reach its nectar, meaning its survival depends entirely on a single insect species. 15. Sierra Nevada chamomile, Artemisia granitensis. Where to find it? The highest peaks of the Sierra Nevada mountains in Spain. Mind-blowing fact, locally known as Manzanilla de la Sierra, this plant grows at altitudes above 3,000 meters. It was picked nearly to extinction because locals believed it was a magical cure-all tea capable of curing everything from the common cold to broken hearts. 16. Pyrenean saxifrage, Saxifraga longifolia. Where to find it? The Pyrenees Mountains between France and Spain. Mind-blowing fact, known as the King of the Pyrenees, this plant spends up to 20 years building a single, perfect geometric rosette of leaves. Then, it produces a spectacular, massive crown of white flowers, releases its seeds, and instantly dies. 17. Edelweiss, Leontopodium nivali. Where to find it? High altitude, inaccessible crags of the Alps and Carpathians. Mind-blowing fact, the wool covering the petals isn't just for warmth, it acts as a natural spacesuit. The dense white hairs perfectly absorb devastating ultraviolet radiation found at high altitudes, protecting the plant from being burned by the sun. 18. Bird's eye primrose, Primula farinosa. Where to find it? Calcareous fens and bogs in northern England and Scandinavia. Mind-blowing fact, the plant secretes a white, powdery substance all over its stems and leaves that looks exactly like wheat flour. This powdery coating acts as a natural water repellent, preventing the damp bog environment from rotting the flower. 19. Venus flytrap of the deep, Aldrovanda vesiculosa. Where to find it? Scattered, clean freshwater deltas in Central and Eastern Europe. Mind-blowing fact, this is Europe's rare, underwater carnivorous plant. Known as the water wheel plant, it features free-floating, subaquatic jaws that snap shut in just 10 milliseconds to trap and digest unsuspecting underwater insects. 20. King's knot, Tophieldia pusilla. Where to find it? Highlands of Scotland and subarctic regions of Europe. Mind-blowing fact, also known as the Scottish asphodel, this tiny plant stays perfectly evergreen through freezing Arctic winters. In ancient Scottish folklore, it was woven into charms because it was believed to have magical properties that warded off evil spirits and witches. From underwater predators to trees that bleed, Europe's rarest plants are a testament to the strange, resilient beauty of nature. Many of these species are down to their last few individuals, heavily protected by scientists and conservationists who are fighting to keep them alive. Which of these mind-blowing plants surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into our planet's hidden wonders. See you next time.